Somebody here. Somebody here. I wonder who. I wonder who it could be. Look at that. My glasses are really reflecting on Facebook. Well, I was at a conference this week about Facebook. Facebook, actually, Washington, D.C. stuff. See if anybody's listening. Anybody here? Anybody want to know? I don't know about that. I got a lot of news I think you all should know about. Actually, I was at a conference, I guess it was yesterday, Thursday, about Bitcoin in Washington, D.C. Washington's getting excited about it. That means politicians want to be in on this stuff. The younger elected politicians are there because all the old guys have all the old things all locked up, whether it's healthcare or whatever. We got congressmen been in this town for 50 years, and they're still trying to get legislation passed on those old ideas. So what happens is the new ideas come along, like Bitcoin, and now the younger congressmen want to do it. But what's interesting, I find, is that the staff of the congressmen are all millennials. They're young people, so they're really into this, and they really run the show a lot in Washington. It's these bureaucrats at this lower level. You see the people in the front, the politicians or whatever. They're not running everything. It's just like the Army or the Navy. When I was in the Navy, man, it wasn't the officers that were running anything. It was the chiefs, the sergeants. They're the one that's run everything. And the same way with the government, you're trying to get money from the government. It's not the elected official. Maybe they could shake the bushes a little for you and everything. But it's those mid-level bureaucrats, that run everything. And that's what's happened now with Bitcoin. And actually, since Facebook come out and said they're going to have their own cryptocurrency. See, Bitcoin is just one of the cryptocurrencies. I've been going to a few of these meetings now, so I'm becoming an expert. See, if you get in on the ground floor of something, like back in the 70s, I was in the ground floor of computers, and I got an MBA in computers and management information systems, and I was teaching at the at colleges already. Now you need a PhD in it to do it. So that's what's so neat about the new stuff. That you don't need credentials because nobody has anything. It's brand new. So that's why the new people grab onto this stuff, because they don't have credentials in anything. So they get into something new where they don't need credentials. Then all of a sudden they have credentials. I remember my son who worked in the Obama campaign. I mean, Dad, he would go way back in the beginning, and he was there 2 months, and he was the oldest guy in town. Or with the most senior, after 2 months. And so he got all the responsibility, money, and all those kinds of things. So that's what's neat about life, is that if you find the things that are growing, that's why Bitcoin may be, it's going to do something now. Now, whether it's going to make millionaires out of everybody, that's here nor there. But financial services is going to change because there's so much money in it. People are so fat because it's now highly regulated, and the people who make the regulations also run the companies. So they make it for. The financial services industry now creates like 25% of all our profits come from that one industry, and that one industry, like all the profits in our country from all the businesses together, 25% from financial services, and they only employ 4% of the people. So that's why there's a lot of fat cats in that industry. And they're going to go down fighting tooth and nail to keep it as is, because they built this house of cards for years and years. Somebody's coming over and finds a better, faster, cheaper way to do it. So the other people are going to fight. And that's what we're going at. And so now, particularly like Facebook, well, the richest company in the world, and been here 10 years. What happened at IBM? What happened to General Motors? What happened to all these people? I grew up, they were the Fortune 500 company. Now they're the unfortunate 500. The industrial age is over, man. And these tech giants, well, all of a sudden, Facebook decides they're going to have its own cryptocurrency, Libre, I think it's called. And they're going to make it available to like 2 billion people who don't have bank accounts now, or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure they just see a way to make a ton of dough. They're saying that it's all for the good of poor people or something. That remains to be seen, and we'll see what happens to that. But something's going on. I mean, technology. I mean, from what little I understand, it could eliminate regulation because it's a self-regulated thing. No one person has all the information. That's why in the old system we had big clearinghouses and they had to handle everything. So then we had to regulate them so nobody, messes with the cookie jar. But now where everybody is sort of a regulator, then you don't need a regulator if everyone's a regulator, right? And that's basically, I mean, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but nobody does. They could wow you because they know some buzzwords that you don't, but they really don't know what's there. Nobody's know what's but you have to keep your eye on it. So a lot of money's going there, so you look at it, okay? Keep an eye on what is there for you. There's probably nothing except here. Here's what the best thing in cryptocurrency I've seen now, because there's a lot of millionaires now made it out of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, okay? So they're sitting on dough. Who are these people? They're not old, established people, okay? So they have money, and what happens with people who have a lot of money? They want to give it away and feel good about themselves and do something for the community. Most do that. Not everybody, right? But that's usually a pattern. And so that's why we have these big foundations and rich people who give money to nonprofits. I mean, like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, I mean, they want to give away half their money. And this is billions and billions of dollars to them. So they want to give it half away. So that's why even at the smaller level, somebody who's a Bitcoin million overnight, they want to give some of it away too to make themselves feel good. Love the hearts, yes. That's what it's about, I think, Anthony. I got more suits coming with hearts. Hi, Michelle. And so they want to invest in nonprofits or other ideas. And see, if you're a little nonprofit looking for money, you're going to go like the Foundation Center and places like this to find big nonprofits that give money to little nonprofits or old rich people that like to give some of their money away. And that's where you go. Well, now see with Bitcoin, it's not dollars, right? It's Bitcoin. And now what you can do with Bitcoin, you can find these people that have Bitcoin and they could give you money without paying taxes on it. In other words, you could take the Bitcoin as a nonprofit and they don't have to pay tax. Say they made $1 million in Bitcoin. Okay, normally what they would have to do is pay taxes on it. And so they pay 30% tax or whatever the hell it would be. So they're down to 700,000. Then they give that 700,000 away. Now, what they could do though, because Bitcoin is like a commodity, so they could give you the Bitcoins, $1 million worth of Bitcoins. Nobody pays taxes on it. You get the Bitcoins as $1 million, not 700,000, and you put in you get a wallet. See, what I understand is getting a Bitcoin wallet costs nothing. That's like a bank account for Bitcoins, and you put it in a Bitcoin wallet, and then you just press a button, and it becomes dollars. Yeah, somebody's making a little, 0.5% or something like that on the transaction, but you turn that into dollars instantly. And that's not a problem. But see what it is, if you're raising money for a nonprofit, this becomes an incredible source of funding that nobody else is using. Nobody else knows it's there. Nobody else understands it or whatever. And these people are sitting in chunks of dough, and they're usually younger people investing in new kind of ideas, not old kind of stuff. So if you have a new idea about doing something and you want to, as a nonprofit, just open up a wallet for nothing. And I'm sure somewhere on the internet you could find it very easy to do. I mean, like here, I just read in New York City, here it said, rising prices among New York City's major hailing apps may be deterring the most price-conscious passengers. Okay, what's that? This is New York City. What's a ride-hailing app? That's an Uber. That's a Lyft. Those kinds of things. They're all over. Uber completed 15.9 million trips in the city in May. 15 million trips for that one company. That's down 8%, according to Bloomberg News. 15 million trips. Okay. And this is Uber. They're a taxi cab company. They don't own a car. That's you. You decide you want to drive for Uber or Lyft or all these other companies or DoorDash. You don't have to take people. What a lot of people do, like my son, is they don't want to have people in the car. They don't want to talk to people. They deliver meals and stuff like that. DoorDash, Uber even delivers meals. There's so many other deliveries that you could make, and just do it for an hour or whatever. Okay, and at the same time, Lyft made 4.7 million trips, which is 17,000 fewer than its peak in March. So in other words, Uber in New York City made 15 million trips in 1 month. Lyft made 5 million trips in a month. Wow, isn't that amazing? The slowdown comes nearly 6 months after the officials passed the nation's first minimum wage rule for drivers of the companies. Both Uber and Lyft announced that fares would increase as a result of the rule. See, they're now starting to get regulated. A lot of these companies, what they do is they just go into a market, like scooters. Are you in a company where in a city where you have all these little scooters? We have them here in Washington, D.C. And the company comes in, what they do is just throw scooters all over the city, and you go on and you get an app on your phone and you put your credit card in there. Anytime you see a scooter, you just type in the number or scan it on your iPhone, and they charge you $1 for the ride. And we got these like bumblebees running around the city all over, and it's sort of very convenient. You want to get a car and park it and all that. What the hell? For $1, you do the scooter, and you just leave it anywhere you are. See, the app tells you where all the scooters are. What I was doing before I moved downtown, I was bicycle riding at that time. And I didn't have a bike downtown. So what I would do is I'd get a scooter because they were closer to where we live. And I get a scooter and I go look for one of the bicycles that I could ride instead of scooters, not exercise. And so I'd leave the scooter there and then rent the bicycle with my app and then ride for an hour, 2 hours on the bicycle. The scooter problem is big in California, and many scooters lying around. Yeah, they're lying all over. But there's another business, is recharging scooters. So, there's a business you never thought of. How do you know? Who charges them? Somebody has to charge them. People make good money charging that. Depends on where you are. It's all variable or whatever. But it's you don't need, a credential, whatever. You just have to know the opportunity and grab it. I mean, that's what life is. I mean, if you want to do in the old system, then you need credentials, you need headhunters, you need, degrees and all that kind of stuff. No, in the new stuff, you just go out and grab, and that's what it is. You want to make money in scooters? Yeah, well, look at the scooter company, see how they hire you, go out and grab it, and that's what it is. And that's why it's easier to make money now, I think, particularly on the side, than anything else. Look at 15 million trips, 15 million. See, before this gig economy with Uber and stuff like that, and this company doesn't own any cars, and they're a cab business. They're just you. Hey, I want to make money today. Okay, I don't want to make money all week. And that's okay. I may have to make more money for an hour. Okay, and that's all you need. And you do it that way. 15 million. This business was not around 5 years ago, and all of a sudden, now just think if you were a New York City taxi driver and those medallions to be able to drive a taxi in New York, you needed $1 million or something like that. I mean, it was crazy, but you don't need that. That pushed it out of business. See, the technology is pushing it out of business because it makes it easier. It's the back office, it's the cloud, it's all that kind of stuff. It takes care of the complications. We're all working for apps. Our boss is an algorithm. That's what you work for on this kind of stuff. And that's why it's different. It's new, but it's growing. So that means it's easier to get into, easier to make money at. It's not perfect. No, nothing is. If you're waiting for perfect, you can't. I mean, I think perfect is, what was the last thing you bought that was perfect? What was the last thing you did that was perfect? None of it was perfect. I mean, you just have to feel your heart and go and try it and see. And if you can make perfect out of it, if you're waiting for that perfect thing, it's not going to sit and punch you in the eyes. You have to build that perfect thing. You can't wait to have it. It's going to come down the path. What are some of the top business ideas you recommend for women-owned business is one that makes you money. Yeah, and what will make you money, and what will be? See, again, the heart. When I talked about, okay, what are the best ideas to get into? You gotta get your heart in that. If you don't have your heart in anything like that, then your chance of success to me just falls incredibly. I always, you look great in your stylish suit and your fancy hairstyle. Oh, that's fancy, Judith. this is, I think I'm just going for cute. That's what old guys could do. I can't go for handsome and rugged and macho and all that. The best I could do is cute. I've been woman-owned business lag in customer. I have seen women-owned businesses lag in customer service. Who cares? I've seen them not lag. Everybody sees it. What does that mean? So you're going to base your whole decision about life because you've seen women alone. My business lags in customer service. I'm terrible at it. I can't keep track of it. I'm doing most of the things myself. I got 1,500 things to do. I'm doing all the research myself and things like that because I want people to get, and I know this stuff better than anybody else. So I want to get people the best information I can all the time. I'm late. I'm this. I'm that. I forget stuff or whatever. I'm terrible at it. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm having enough time growing, and it doesn't seem, if I'm pretending to be perfect, then yes, that's bad. And I think that's what that's what normal businesses do. They pretend they're perfect, and they ain't. So then everybody gets pissed off when they're not perfect. Well, why? Because they're saying they're perfect. So when they're not, they get pissed off. I'm saying I'm not perfect. And that's it. Or they don't have something that's of value to people. So they could get it everywhere else or something. And so that's the only thing they compete on. And there's just too many problems to solve. Look at the problems out there that need to be solved. And how can you solve them? And how can you make money out of solving that? That's what it is. And then, see, if your heart is in that, if your heart is in doing that, hiya, Gary. Nice to see you, Gary. If your heart is in that, then you find a way. You want to be in that marriage or you don't. If you don't want to be, then it's going to be like being at the dentist every day of your life, right? If you want to be there, then you just can't wait to get up in the morning and do it. Then you're going to do it better than anybody else. And that's what I mean. Really, that's really interesting. How have they lagged? Oh, I see Michelle saying, yeah, I don't know. I can't. Well, even if it's true that they're not as good as her, I doubt that, tell you the truth, because women instincts are more personal oriented. Men just care about money and stuff like that and non-personal things. And that just doesn't make sense on the face of it. But it doesn't matter if it makes sense to you or not. What are you going to do? And that's it. You're not going to be perfect. Don't be perfect. You're going to wait. Now, here's an article I just really finished on that about this. What is he talks about? It's see the title. It's never going to be perfect. So just get it done. That's what life is all about, getting it done, not getting it perfect, because you'll never get perfect and you don't even know what perfect is. And none of us buy perfect anyway. I mean, you see, there's a brand new suit. I feel a hole in the pocket. But it's a cool suit. I'll wear it anyway. I'm searching what makes me feel passionate. It's not easy. You're right. It's not easy, but nothing is easy. That's why if you don't have your heart into it, then it's going to be easy. It's not going to be. It's going to be harder because you're going to dread every second of what the hell you're doing. Okay, Michelle, let's take that idea a little bit. Okay, Gary, you're two different places. That's nice. I'm the get it done guy. Great. See, Gary's the get it done. That's it. You just do it. Don't have meetings. Don't have it. You find a problem and solve it. What do people need? How are you going to do it? What do you like to do better? Because if you like to do it, then you're going to do it better. If you don't like to do it, then other people are going to do it better. And that's it. And be there for the long term. Okay. That means if you're not making $1 gazillion now, then you go drive for Uber or something like that. You go deliver pizzas or whatever the hell it takes, to get you through to you learn. The only thing to me that the critical success thing in life is staying there long enough until you figure it out. Nobody knows, you and I could sit and try to figure out the best way to do something. We're guessing. We don't know. Any expert tells you what they know what the hell to do. They're full of crap. They're just guessing. We all are. And your life is different anyway. If it worked for somebody else, it does not mean, by gosh, it's going to work for you. Yeah, and that's the problem. So you have to find what works for you, and that is only through trial and error, like learning to walk. If you're sitting on the chair and haven't walked yet, I could talk my ears off about how to walk, right? Until you get your butt off the chair and try it, you ain't gonna learn anything, And that's what life is: getting your butt off the chair and trying anything. You don't need money to do it. That's the other thing too. Everybody think, oh, I need $100. I need $1,000. I need $1 million. That's nonsense. You be clever enough to figure out how you don't need that, but it still gets you in the game without that. You use somebody else's kitchen. You want to be a baker. Okay, but there's places now you can use somebody's kitchen at 2 o'clock in the morning and make the bread. It only costs you $100 instead of buying a whole restaurant or whatever. No, you don't have to do that. There's other ways to do that. I know what I want and I love it. Wish I thought like this at 20. Me too. I was trying to do it like everybody else told me to do it, and I went and got an MBA, going all this stuff and failing. But that was great, because if I didn't fail, I wouldn't be wearing question mark suits today and having the time of my life. And because you have to get all that crap out of your system that people put there, and the only way to do that is fail. Get out there and fail. Because you'll still think that that's going to work, and so you go out and try it, fail your buttons. Hey, this shit ain't working, and I'm not having fun. That's what happened to me. Thank you for your help in helping to get free medical and dental care. Oh, great, Angel. And they say, are there any nonprofits that can help you pay past medical bills? Yes, and I'm working on that. Angel, did I send you a report on health care, dental care, and pet care for your state? I live in Virginia. Did I send you that report, Angel? Because in there's a nonprofit, and I'm trying to find out more of them, that help you fight those bills. And yes, fight them, because they overcharge. Okay, in there's some nonprofits that help you fight your bills for you. Okay, and that's because your bill is probably double what it should be, the one you're fighting. But you don't know, I wouldn't know, or anything. And see, there's a lot of problems like that. The Kaiser Foundation works on that too, Kaiser. They do a lot of research on how bad bills are and overcharging and everything. So they're fightable. That's the thing. And I have one of the groups there. So if you're searching on the internet for that, remember, that what you should do is always just look for .org or .gov. Otherwise, you're going to get some lawyer who's going to want to charge you or get money from you somehow, because they won't do it without money. Hospitals billing is a nightmare. Yes, it is. And it's terrible. And you get charged for $30,000 for an aspirin and stuff stupid stuff like that. And we don't know what. I remember going down the corridor when my second son was being delivered, trying to find out what the price was of the anesthesia, and they wouldn't talk to me. They were about to throw me out of the hospital. I said, I'm buying this stuff. I want to know what the price is. they wouldn't. But no, start fighting that. Don't hide, fight it, and look for nonprofits that'll help you. So just Google fighting bills. And what happens a lot when you're searching like that is that you may run into articles, and the articles are good because within the articles, you'll find they'll mention people who do this, and that's how you get a lead to a nonprofit. And then use your phone when you're doing research. What'd you do with my phone? Huh? Did you take my phone? And when you're doing research, you have to get on the phone, because you find somebody, you find an organization, you call them up, say, hey, this is my problem. If you can't help me, who do you think can? And that's the way you really get things done. Now, it may take a bunch of hours, but what the hell? If you got $10,000 there, you're sitting 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. It is nothing. So what if it takes you a few hours? And I know it's a pain in the ass, and life is. And that's why it's only easy if you have a lot of money to spend, to have other people do it for you. And then that's really not fun. The satisfaction comes when you're solving a problem yourself and learning and seeing what happens and how it can be done. Bro, I watched you growing up. Oh, you watched me growing up? You knew me 50, 60, 70 years ago? I know you watched when you were growing up. You're watching me. I thought you watched me growing up. Drubowski, you sound like a Polish guy too. I'm Slovak. I was part of Poland one time. My bill is less than 1,000. That's okay. You fight that sucker. I'll take your advice. Thanks a million. Yeah, okay. I'm glad you found some dental care that's free or low cost that I sent you. I am with my husband who has a cancer, also lives in Virginia. We already lost everything we have on our medical bill. See, I will Facebook member and ask your question. Oh, well, great, Judith. Yeah, let me inundate you with stuff and start. And to me, what the process is about, and what's really hard to do, is to be proactive and getting on the phone. You have to get off of this computer. It's important, the computer, you find leads, you find possibilities or whatever, but the important thing is to get on the phone, start talking to people, because then you become human. See, what's happening, everybody wants to be professional. I think professional is wrong, because that's a robot. If you're very professional, you're a robot. And see, everybody, tells you to be professional at businesses, because most people that work for businesses hate what the hell they're doing. So if they told you how they really feel, they're going to scare everybody away, right? So be professional. But you're not human. And that's why you feel lousy, I feel, at work, is because you're acting professional, which is not human. I feel lousy here. So when you call these people who work in bureaucracies and organizations, you're acting professional, then they don't feel anything. But if you're acting human, then you could bring out the human nature in that. And then they could help you more, because it's a human instinct that wants to help another human. Okay, and that's what we're all about, is helping other humans. So we got to give a chance. I don't want to help a robot. What does that do? And that's why the society that we're building, there's going to be a lot more robots, because they're smarter than us a lot of times. I can't remember shit. So I forget sending out reports and everything. But I admit it, and that's why if I promise you an answer to something, if you don't hear from me in 2 days, just beat on me. Just tell me, hey, the old fart, you forgot me, and then I'll stop everything else and take care of what I screwed up. Is chess a sport? No, but esports is. There's now video games champions, and you get scholarships at universities to play esports. I mean, it's a $1 trillion business or whatever. I don't know if it's trillion, but certainly billions. And so be careful. Esports, people say video games is stupid or whatever. And it's actually trains kids to deal, because a lot of things are like that now. I mean, to get through life, you have to use everything is run by the robots. So you have to know how to use these robots. If you don't, then the robots use you, right? So there was a book out a few years ago called "Everything Bad is Good for You." It's like playing video games. It's bad. No, it's good for you. Of course, there's a limit to everything, And then even the bad things, like, well, to me, it's like ice cream. Boy, I just can't eat one scoop. I'm going to eat, a whole quart or a half a gallon if I have one scoop, and that's the problem. Um, but it's don't try to be perfect. That's what I was saying. There's an article about that. It said, in other words, just getting it done, whether that's the decision you have to make or the work you have to do, with will leave you more satisfied than if you agonized over the task in the pursuit of perfection. Even better, you'll actually finish. So that's an important thing to finish. That's why we like gardening, how we can finish. I need the Opportunity Zone Resort. Okay, Don, after I should see that that's on there. Opportunity Zone. Now, this is interesting. It's all over. It's really good for small businesses, and it's only going to be around for a few years, maybe. Don't know. Who knows if they extend it or not. And it's a place, if you put your business in these opportunity zones, what will happen? You could raise money easier because people could give you money, and the money they make on your project, they don't have to pay taxes on. See? So that means if you're looking for investors or something in your idea, they have an option. They invest in you and get all their profits tax-free, or they invest in somebody else and they have to pay taxes. So if you're a fat cat, that could be 30% of your money. So that means you're giving investors a 30% bonus if you put your business in these opportunity zones. How do you find the opportunity zone? Don, I will send you the report tomorrow, I hope. And if you don't get it by the end of March, just beat on me again in the discussion in Let's Go Help. Just go there and beat on me and remind me to do it. I have a lot of things I think I just put up there too. Oh, yeah. What 35? I have a new report now that I just put out about how to get the government to pay for things that you pay for in life. Yeah, the government has so many programs. There's actually, they could pay for things that you're normally paying for. Okay, and I put together 35 videos that explains the major processes of your life that you could get the government to pay for, whether it's like we talked about healthcare earlier, or getting a job, or training, or investing, and all these things that there's government money to pay for that, so you don't have to pay for it. And I have 35 videos I put together for that. I wanted to find money for real estate investing in my neighborhood. I do custom reports, Antonio, on that. Or if you join Let's Go Help, now the custom reports are like $60, and I find you every program for real estate where you live. Okay, so every subsidized program. Not the bank and what they're doing. They advertise enough. I concentrate on things that are not advertised, that you don't know. Or what I also have, if you join Let's Go Help, which is only $20, what happens there is that I show you how to do that research. I have a course that shows you, so you can learn. See, I want to teach you to fish. I don't want to just keep giving you fish. I want to teach you to fish so you know how to use this structure. The internet's very important, but you have to know how to use it. So I've been doing research for 50 years of my life, and the internet is good and bad. But you have to use it. Most people will not get what they need out of that, because all they'll find is people that want to sell them something, because that's what the internet has done. It's a place for people to make money. And that means you will never find opportunities, because all you're going to find are people who want to sell you something. What I show you is people want to give you money, not sell you money. So when you go and look for real estate investing or something like that, then you're going to get people who are going to make money off of you somehow. I want to show you the government, nonprofit organization, whatever. People just give you money because they want to do good for the community. Good evening, Matthew. You're amazing. Oh, Cassie, how are you? Siri Line, how are you? How to find funding for a small business startup. Okay, now on real estate and even small business startup, a good place to go is something called Meetup. MEETUP. I go to these things all the time to learn stuff because you learn for free. You go to meetup.com, wherever you are in this country, and put in what you're interested in, like real estate. Well, I attended. This is where I found out about opportunity zones for free. There's a fellow who was talking from the government, talking about opportunity zones for investing. I went there, got it for free. Took a free course. And all these other investors who are in this, doing this a lot longer than I am, are there giving me free information too. See, that's what you have to learn. You have to know the options you have. You don't know your options if you're just using Google and the internet. There's more than that. And it's important that you know that. That, to me, is the key to success. It's your heart and knowing your options. So, okay, again, let's go help. If you want to start a business, I got a couple of free reports. One is, well, I think one of the best I give on starting a business. The report is why you never find a grant. Okay, why most people looking for grants for business never find them. And that lays it out, and that's important to know because that's what we have. See, we're doing things based on not complete information because we have something in our mind and we say, well, we want that, and it makes sense in our mind. But the world has a different idea, and that's what you have to do. You have to go out and find what the world has, not what you want it to have. And you'll be surprised what happens is that what it has is not what you want, but it's just as good or better. And that's what researching is all about. It's not about thinking of an idea and saying, I want that, and that's the only thing I'm looking for. You can't operate that way because you're gonna give up because you won't find it. But you have to get out there and find what is available. I mean, you want a grant. Okay, well, there's, how about a contract? How about a $50,000 contract? You have to do the work, but that's what you're in business to do, is do work. And so if you're only looking for grant, you're missing everything else. What you have to do is start by, I want a business. That's all. That's the only question you have to. Okay, what kind of help do you have for me to help me start a business? And listen. These things, these things on the side of your head are very important, and they're very special for you, and you have to use them. That tells you what is out the world, and then you have to use this thing, the brain, to put pieces together that make sense, and to do it in an area that your heart is in, because your heart is the key to everything. Because if your heart is not in it, all the other things that you think you need and you see that you want to do can't be done without your heart, because it's going to be difficult. You're going to fail a lot. It's going to be a pain in the ass, whatever, because that's what life is, anything you do. So if your heart is not in it, you're not going to stay there long enough to figure it out. And you look at all the stupid people that are running big things and doing great things. It's only because they stayed there long enough to figure it out. And that's what it is. And see, if you're doing something that you want to do in a way you're winning already, because in a way you may not be a gazillionaire success, but you're getting up every day and doing exactly what you want to do. Because this is the stuff I want to work on. And if it's something that's easy, if you want to do something easy every day, well, to me, that's not life. Why do you want to do that? Sure, once in a while you want to take a break and relax and, whatever, but life is doing something, not doing nothing. The bird, just think of the bird. Well, I'm not going to fly today. I don't want to fly. What the hell I want to fly for? That's stupid. I'm just going to sit here on the ground. No, we're humans. We're here to contribute, do something. The bird's here to fly. He's got to get his ass off the twig and fly. Right? So that's what we're all here. My heart is in havoc, and I'm already doing it great, and I love, but not for an employer. Good. Okay, here's what you do, Gary. Right now, you go to that meetup.com and just look for startup meetups, people who start things, because they'll meet up, depending on which city, it's different all over, so you never know. Uh, and even if you have to drive 100 miles, what the hell? You're not going to get anything better. And you sit there and listen to how these people started things. Where did they get it? So if you like Havoc, HVAC, is that how you say it? HVAC. If you like that, okay. Instead of starting something, you think of something small. Okay, maybe you be a HVAC consultant to small business. So you do a little website, on Wix.com or something. You could do a website for $20, and you say that's there, and you do it in your spare time, helping other people solve their HVAC problems. You just keep your part-time, full-time job. And maybe that will show you opportunities that there are holes in the industry that you could fill, just as a person with not a lot of money. You don't know how to handle taxes. You don't know, and that's okay. Another place, you go to the Business Development Center, Small Business Development Center. If you go to SB, America's AMERICAS SBDC.org. You go there, and put in your zip code, you find a local office, will handle all that accounting and stuff like that for free, or show you how to get it done for free. So there's so much free help out there. And just start doing it on a small level. Don't try to, I'm going to build the biggest HVAC. I mean, you can, but you're trying to keep body and soul together. So you got to do something small on the side while you're doing this other thing. And that's why, I'm around for 20 more years. That's how I'm planning. I never know for sure. But if you go to free.letsgo.com/letsgohelp, I got a whole bunch of free training guides and things like that. And the stuff I was talking about now. You could try to search through them yourself and whatever. But any problem comes up, I think there's a free alternative that people don't know, because the free alternative is not advertised. And the people you talk to and find on Google want to sell you things. So there's no motive for them to tell you, you don't have to call me. You call the free guy over here. And that just doesn't happen in our capitalist society. So you got to work at that. But the most important thing is that you're doing your own thing. That's the only motive you have to have. And then you find ways to do that are the least resistant. So this way I need $1 million. So let's forget about that. This way I need $20 to start a website, and I'll make a few phone calls and see what happens. So that's a possible way. Simple T's Temple, baby steps. Yes, it's all about baby steps. I think, unless you have a bunch of dough, and you're usually going to lose a lot anyway. So that's why the less you spend, the less you're going to lose. And the more that you're doing it yourself instead of giving money to other people to learn, you don't know what works. They don't know what works. They're going to guess. So they're going to take your money and learn themselves. And you're the best one to learn it, because you'll see opportunities nobody else will. That's the important thing. It's sort of like, countries over the years, if they hire soldiers for hire, they lose more wars than people fighting for their country. Their heart's in it. If they're just fighting for money, that's different. How did we as America, succeed against the French and the English and all these big established companies? Because our hearts were in it, right? It's still open for enrollment. What's open for what? I'm working through Y Combinator Startup School. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, my son just started that, one of his groups. See, that's another thing. That's free, right, Michelle? Y Combinator. Now, if you're chosen, it's a way to think through your idea and prepare a business plan and things like that. And actually, your local small business development center probably help you do that too. And then if you're chosen as one, they choose, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 people a year. And you get, I don't know, 50 to 100 grand to help you work on your idea. I like to start my own small business. What kind? What kind? Ah, awesome. Yes, it's free. Yeah, it's the Y Combinator. See, that's you just do things. And a way to find out about those things too, again, depending on the city you're in. And that's why if you're not near a big metropolitan area, but you could drive there an hour or two, just go there. Look up meetup.com and just put startup, and your zip code and say 50 miles out, 100 miles out, wherever they're meeting. And so they'll be meet, and it's free. See, instead of don't pay 300, 3,000, 30,000 of people. I mean, that's Donald Trump's real estate business fund. He was charging $30,000 and he had to give it all back, $50 million, whereas because he was scamming people, $15,000 for their grant. Yeah, so Y Combinator gives him $15,000. That's great. See, that's it. But also, besides Y Combinator, most states have maybe a half a dozen or a dozen of these things called incubators and accelerators. That's the name they use. And they're usually government or nonprofit or quasi both. And they give you consulting help and everything and money sometimes. Not everyone gives them money, but enough to make it worthwhile. So that's what you want to do. You call the Small Business Development Center and ask them, hey, I need a list of accelerators and incubators in the state. I mean, they have for everything. People wanted to start breweries or fashion or restaurants and all this kind of stuff. At Temple, they have 2 stores for sale in my neighborhood. I heard New York City government helps with starting. Yes, call 311. Tell you want to start a business. New York City has lots of help for entrepreneurs and starting a business. When what's his name, Bloomberg was there, he started all kinds of stuff. That's still there. They have a lot of accelerators. So I have enjoyed watching you and seeing you on TV since I was a young teacher, and wanted to say thank you for being the fun, caring, and compassionate guy you keep your. Oh wow, Adam, that's wonderful to hear. And I never thought anybody would say that to me about my work or whatever. I mean, it is never occurred to me that something like that would happen to me. And I feel that happened because of my heart. When I start listening to my heart, and that's why I'm trying to get through to people, now is, even though I sell free information and stuff like that, I think now I have question mark suits. I wear them a lot. I thought information was the key. It is, but heart is even more important. And that's what I'm trying to get across, because that will make you a nicer person, I feel. I mean, that brings out the niceness in me. The more I open my heart, the more people are open to me. And that's what I think the question mark suit did for me. One of the nicest things is that because I didn't fit in, it made me think differently. See, everybody's doing the same old thing. It's not working, right? A lot of shit ain't working out there, And so if you're doing what everybody else is doing, and that's not going to work for you either. Really, we are amazing. I agree. Oh, that's awfully nice, Michelle. That's warmth that is undescribable. When you say things like that, and that's why, to me, I want my work to help other people feel that feeling, that they're appreciated by giving their talent. Say, whatever talent you have, we all have special talents as something. We're all different. So you can't be like everybody else. You're not. You try to be because an expert will try to, some teacher, expert, or whatever, tell you to be like that because that guy did. It doesn't matter. You're not good at that. You have to find what you're good at and give that. It's not easy. You fail. You try this, you try that, you try. All you have to know is, are you happy as hell what you're doing right now? If the answer is no, then your job is to start trying to find what that is. You don't know what it is, right? I don't either. And any expert you talk to, they'll lie to you and say they know so they could charge you a lot of money, but they don't. You seem to make a heart with two question marks. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Good idea. A backward question mark, right? Uh, and actually, I was thinking also maybe a question mark with a heart as the dot is another way to. Uh, where was I? I don't know. Uh, Oh, what's special about you? I mean, that's the key. I need to fix my home up in Illinois. Do you have a grant that I'll show you, Donald? Um, this is Donald on Let's Go Help. So I'll get together. I have a video that tells you how to find what's local, and I'll show you that and step by step where to look for all the good fix up money. And if that doesn't work, then I'll help you more. We'll dig out that, and I'll help you make sure you don't miss something. Okay, Donald. So remind me tomorrow, and I'll send you that video that explains that. There's a lot of fix-up stuff out there that people need help with. Um, my nephew is looking for a job. What can he do? He has a bachelor's in art. He can do a lot. I have a report on Let's Go Help. That's a closed Facebook group. By the way, the address, if you're looking for that, is free.letsgo.com/letsgohelp. And that's $20 a month. Then you could quit or you're pissed off at me. I'll refund your money, don't worry. If you can't find it. Okay, there's a couple things. I have a report, like I say, that the San Francisco has a free course that shows you how to make money on the internet without costing anything. What I call it is no boss and no cost. So make money. And people who finish this course, it's a short little course. It's not complicated. Start making like $1,800 a month on this thing. And it shows you all the places, all the websites on the internet that you could apply and start making this money. See, these are places that looking for people to do the work. The best $20 I ever spent. Oh, thank you. Really worth everything. Oh, thank you so much. So I have that. Or just put in like gig economy, city of San Francisco, and try to find that course there. I'll give it to you. And it's the way I do it, it's about 40 or 50 pages on that. The other thing you want to look at is go to your search for your what's called Career One Stop for your county. So Google Career One Stop for Montgomery County, Maryland, or wherever you live. And there's dozens of programs to help him get a job, train for a job or whatever. So he's an art major, he needs a skill. See, they could give him $8,000 and go get a skill, for a couple of months so he could get a better job. Yeah. What they also do is pay an employer. Okay. He doesn't know, but you like him, but he doesn't have the skills. We'll pay his salary for the next 6 months or something, or 90% of his salary for the next 6 months, and that kind of stuff. And I got a report, Let's Go Help member, anybody wants one of those for their state. I have a state-by-state listing. Tell me what state you are and you need a job, help with job thing. Or if he wants to, maybe be a chef or anything as another skill thing. I mean, they'll pay you. It's not a big wage, maybe, $25,000 while you learn. And after 4 or 5 years, you're making 90 grand, in some of these skills. So that's, the apprentice program. We're bringing that back because we need a lot, it's easy. And actually get in the gig economy. If he has a decent car, he doesn't even need a decent car. You just need a decent car to ride with passengers. If you don't have a decent car, you could deliver all kinds of stuff, Amazon packages, or lunches around town, and it's very flexible. And you deal. GitHub is one of them. See, and the report I send you will have all those things in it. It's really called the gig economy. Thank you for appreciate everything. Oh, thank you, and hope. Nero. Oh, I sent the suit. You're in Texas, right? And the track to retire in 3 years, it's impossible. I'm impossible. I'm on track to retire. Neo M Newer, right? You're the one for the suit. Yeah, the jacket's on the way. Just put it in the mail today. So I don't know how long it takes, but you're in Texas, right? Yeah, maybe you guys could help me. How do I got some suits I want to give away and raffle or something. I'm trying to think of a clever way to give suits away. Anybody have ideas? I mean, what? Or anybody have a nonprofit they want to take a suit and raffle themselves that? What do you think? Anyway, how can I give more? Yeah, because I want to thin the herd. I've been wearing these things 15, 20 years now. So take a picture of you in the suit. Yeah, good. Yes, Nero. Yeah. Yeah, do that, will you, Nero? My nonprofit will do it. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. I just sent you a suit, though. I'm looking for somebody else. I will do it for sure. Okay, great. Thank you. And yeah, anybody, wait, how can I use the suits? So if anybody has an idea, here, let's go free radio at gmail.com. How is that? Yeah, contest and contest sweepstakes. Yeah, what would be a cool sweepstake? How would what could I do? What could I do? Maybe I'll just draw. Yeah, maybe let's go help name at random. Yeah, so maybe I'll just have to do that and do that. Well, guys, that's 55 minutes. How the hell does that do? Yeah, wow. Okay, let me give you. Let's go. Let's go. No. www.free.letsgo.com/let's go help me, Wanda. Great. Okay, guys. So thank you so much. I'll see you soon, and yell at me if I don't answer you soon. Give me a day or two, and if you don't hear from me, let's go help. Just beat on me again. Yell at me louder. Let's go, you lazy shit. Make sure you answer me. Donald, how are you? I need to fix my helmet. Yeah. Okay, Donald, we'll work on that. Gary, you're on 2 places. Great. Okay, see you soon, guys. Thank you.